to introduce Matt, Sarah, Hasselbeck to you all. They've just been in here flying trip. Thanks. You're going to get a chance to ask Sarah some stuff in a second. Let's hold this up, man. Got it?
Thank you.
All
Sure.
set?
Thanks.
Okay. A couple things before we get started here. Obviously, I told you the other day I was very excited about the trade. It was a culmination of weeks and months probably of some discussion, and the fact that we were able to get Matt, a quality young man and a great quarterback in my opinion. I thought it was really the start of something very important for the Seahawks. Since the time we signed him and today, in the things that I have seen, it appears that my future, my family's future, my little granddaughter's future all rest on his shoulders. And as I talk to him today, and I will say this to you, and this is a very important thing for us. There's no question about that. But I think we also have to keep in mind, here's a young man who will, while he believes he has all the answers at quarterback, he still will be in a learning phase of this game. You know, he's performed remarkably well in preseason games, but because of the person he played behind in Green Bay, none of those guys, Mark Brunell, all the way through Matt, never got much of a chance to play in regular season games. It is my opinion, however, that he has everything it takes to be a fine quarterback in this league. I know both Gil and Jim Zorn and Matt are anxious to roll up their sleeves and get going, and I just feel very strongly that he's the guy that can take us to places we want to go. Keep in mind that while it's a tremendous responsibility, you know, the whole weight of the world are not on his shoulders. There's a lot of other players out there playing. There are coaches that are going to be working real hard, and I've said it many, many times, football, that's why I love this game, because it's the ultimate team sport. But I think Matt has a chance to be a big part of the puzzle. So, having said that, open it to questions, and I will say this too. Tomorrow, today is not about things other than Matt Hasselbeck. Okay, if I'll be around here tomorrow, any of you guys want to show up informally, we can kind of go over some other things free agency-wise and draft-wise, and have another little get-together tomorrow. Okay, rather informally. But today, I want it about, this is about Matt and Sarah. Okay?
Well, one thing, Mike, can we ask about, has your perspective changed at all about how you want to build this team now as opposed to when you walked in the door? The speed and the manner in which you want to build it?
No, I don't think so. I really don't. I think the one thing that was surprising to me, or that I was not prepared for probably as much as I could have been, I suppose, was the salary cap situation we're in. And once we kind of grabbed hold of that and attempted to go in a certain direction, the type of player, the players that we want to bring in here, I think it's pretty clear, and I think we will stick with the plan. This year, you know, the beauty, one of the beauties about the trade for Matt is I was able to get the quarterback I wanted, yet still keeping 2 picks in the first round. And that to me was very, very important. So, you know, between free agency, we've created some money in free agency, and I you know, it did say that with the signing of John Randall, now, again, the vault is empty. I read somebody said that. You know, that's not true, you know. Sometimes those figures you read are not exactly the figures that they are. we can stay with our plan of signing hopefully 3 or 4 players in free agency, coupled with our draft picks this year, and really take a big step towards flipping our record. So, Mike, I hope that addressed you. Okay? All right.
Matt, can you talk a little, you talked about my future, my family's future, my grandkids. Can you talk about everything that's sort of on the line here for a guy that's really starting his first game?
I'm not sure I'm really thinking about what's on the line. I look at this as it's just football. Just go out there and play within yourself in the offense, and you probably win some football games. And if you win some football games, everything else seems to work out. So, I think if you get caught up in the pressure or what's at stake, I think you lose your focus on what your job actually is, and it's just playing football. And it's really no more complicated than that.
I will say this, Scott, I was kidding. I was kidding,
Have you met the granddaughter yet?
Don't lose your sense of humor,
Matt, when we talked to you Friday, you were still pretty jacked up, and now that you've had a weekend to have this actually sink in and what it means, has it changed your focus on what you plan to do in the off season?
Not really. The off season's kind of up in the air right now. We're going to Sarah and I are going to go to dinner with Gil Haskell and his wife tonight, and Jim Zorn also. And I think we're going to get a chance to sit down and talk really for the first time about what they think the best thing to do this off season. When I should come out, when I should start getting together with them, and I know this offense basically, but I'm sure it's there's some different things that we're doing in Green Bay right now that there are new things that they're doing here in Seattle that I'm going to have to get caught up to speed on. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity of just selling my house, finding one here, and getting ready to go to work.
Have you looked at any of that stuff as far as what's going to be different or how the offense is different here, or do you have any conceptions of that?
We will. It's real early though. I just got in last night, had a physical this morning, and that's about it. That's all I've done.
So Matt, where were you and what did you think when you heard about this deal?
I think honestly at first I was in shock a little bit. For 2 years now there's been rumors about me being traded, and the standard line in Green Bay is that you're never going to get a chance to play because Brett Favre never gets hurt, and he gets hurt, he just plays hurt, and I think it's a valuable lesson for a young quarterback, and I think I was fortunate to learn a lot of valuable lessons playing behind a guy like him, and hopefully I'll just take a lot of those lessons and have my chance to put them to work here.
When the shock wore off, though, did you see this as a great opportunity, or is it really hard to be agreed?
Oh, it's a great opportunity. I'm psyched. This is a perfect place for me to be right now. I was telling Coach Mike that I'm not a free agent, so I didn't get to pick where I went. But I said, if I really sat down and said to myself, okay, if I was a free agent, where would I want to go? What team would I want to be the quarterback for? Who would I want to play for? And this is the place. I can't think of another place I'd rather play. It's a perfect opportunity for me. I think it's a chance here. This team, I believe, was started in 1976. And there's not a real long tradition in history here yet. And being in Green Bay, walking by those Lombardi trophies as you come in every morning, it's something really special that they have there. And I think it'd be really nice to be able to, really build a tradition here.
Hey, can you solve the bigger mystery right now? How did your brother's girlfriend do in Survivor?
Yeah, I guess my brother's girlfriend is one of the contestants on the next Survivor.
I wish I'd have known that before the trade.
Yeah, she swore to secrecy on that one, so I can't really help you. But knowing the kind of person that she is, she probably did very well, rather.
What's it to sit behind Brett and watch?
I think as the first 2 years, it wasn't really that tough. It was a lot of fun, actually. And if I would have had to play my first year, there's no way I would have been able to play. I don't know that I'd still be in the NFL, but I matured a little bit. I got in the weight room a little bit. My body kind of caught up to itself, and 2 years later, I think I was a little bit more ready to play. And last year, I think I was ready to play. So it was a great experience for me, and he's probably the perfect guy to come in and learn under. You can learn a lot of great things from him, and you can learn not just like football things, but also just intangible things, how he deals with guys in the locker room, how he deals with guys in the huddle. Guys want to play for him, and he's a special person, and it was just a great experience.
What are your impressions of Coach Holmgren?
You'll leave the room for a minute, Mike?
What do you mean, now or before? Or?
Keep in mind, Survivor.
Well, I'll say this. When I was in college, I said to myself, I hope I get drafted. I was a guy that maybe was going to be drafted somewhere between rounds 5 and 7 and maybe not get drafted. And if I was going to go in the 7th round, I said, it's actually better to be a free agent. So I came up with a list of criteria, team that I'd want to play for. And the most important thing was to have a head coach that was a quarterback's guy, that had been in Super Bowls and had the ability to take his team to a Super Bowl. And I think when you think about a coach like that, I think Mike Holmgren is one of the first guys that comes to mind. So I had 1 year with him in Green Bay, and it was I was on the practice squad, but it was still a good year for me, great learning experience. And I was just glad for the time that we were able to share together, and just looking forward to learning whatever else I can.
Matt, what was it like growing up with your father being an NFL player?
It was, I think I took it for granted. It was a lot of fun, but I think I took it for granted a little bit. And we moved around quite a bit, and that's just part of the lifestyle, but I actually enjoyed it. And I don't think I really appreciated it until after he was done playing, and I realized that, Lawrence Taylor autographs weren't that easy to come by. But it was a good experience for me. It really was.
Does he talk to you at all about preparing yourself? How much of a role has he played in your development as toughness and coping with transitions that always take place?
He's been probably the biggest influence on my football career, and it's interesting because he wouldn't let us play football growing up. I have 2 younger brothers who both are scholarship college players, and he would never let us play. He said, play baseball, play golf, play some other sport. And finally we talked him into it, and he said, if you're going to play this stupid sport, you're going to play quarterback. So luckily for me, he made a wise decision.
Why quarterback? What is it? What, did he feel safe with you at quarterback instead of some other position?
I don't know. I think it's a lot of different things. I think it's the best position to play, personally. But I think also just you're not hitting everybody. You're not. I don't know. You'd have to ask him that question, I guess.
Now, what are your thoughts about earning a new contract?
I think hopefully all I have to concentrate on is football. And, hopefully we can get something done that makes me a Seattle Seahawk for a very long time, because I think that'd be great.
Matt's status, as you know, he has 2 years left on an existing deal, and but as I said the other day, we're going to handle this correctly. I don't want him, he doesn't have to worry about his contract. He wants to buy a home in Seattle, and the prices of homes are a little bit higher than they are in Green Bay. So, but that would be, right now he has to concentrate on his football, learning the stuff. I want them to be real comfortable on where they choose to live. There are a lot of other things to think about besides his contract. That will be taken care of.
Matt, given your limited experience in the regular season, he talks about flipping the record over. I mean, is that realistic? I mean, when you come in here expecting to be a 10-win team, a playoff team this year?
I really can only speak for myself, and I think what we'll try to do is just improve on offense. I don't know a whole lot about Seattle and what kind of season they had last year. We watched a little bit of film, so it's hard for me to comment on improving from last year. But I think that if I just go out and play like I know I'm capable of playing, and get the guys around me to play like they're capable of playing, I think we'll do well.
Mike, had you pinpointed him from the start, or was he just the right balance of talent and cost to be the appropriate value for you?
As I said the other day, Dave, the money part of any of the quarterbacks didn't enter into it, and not in the beginning. We had rated, I asked my coaching staff, looked at a lot of film. The problem, or the danger that I wanted to avoid was that I knew Matt, I liked Matt, and we had a history together, and I wanted to still make an objective decision what would be best for the football team. And so our personnel people and our coaches worked very hard on rating the quarterbacks, ranking them. There are a lot of factors there, age, ability, all sorts of stuff. And it was funny, the quarterbacks that were available this year fell into three categories, potential cap victims, trade possibilities, that Matt fell into that category, and straight free agents. There were a few there, and then actually there's four categories, I guess, and then the draft picks. And so when we kind of threw all that stuff into the computer, so to speak, and came out, and Matt was clearly, and it just wasn't my decision, it was clearly the player we wanted. Now, getting that done, I wasn't sure I could get that done because I wanted to keep our number one picks. And Green Bay did not have to trade him this year. He had 2 years left. So once we made the decision on who the quarterback we wanted was, then it was a matter of a lot of negotiation, back and forth. And I think, and I believe this, it was a win-win situation. Green Bay got a good pick in 10. We got the quarterback we wanted. To me, it was one of those trades that's a good trade. And who's to say I can't get that number 3 back somewhere along the road? So